Righto, bit of a quick update on the Bertram 25 build I'm currently doing. Couple of things, we're doing a 3-stem bow roller. Instead of putting a bow sprit or having a fiberglass up something there, we decided we're going to go through the stem. This is a basic shape of what we're going to build out of some 316 stainless plate that's currently getting laser cut. These were some previous holes. Must have had a protection plate on there at some stage. I'm assuming they only just had a little bow roller. There was a capstan winch installed in this boat as well, so I'd say it was just a protection plate. It wasn't there when I brought the boat, but to give you a bit of an idea, we've made these already. This is 316L stainless. These actually sit up in here and they'll be welded to the plate. There'll be one on each side, and the anchor actually sits up in there on some rollers. We'll put a drum winch in there, so we've got to modify that anchor well for a drum winch. While I was at it, the D-ring was actually rusted through from the inside, so I removed that, and then we noticed the holes were actually drilled on an angle, so the D-ring actually sat out like that. So that was annoying the hell out of me. So what we've done now is we've made a 6mm 316L stainless plate. We've utilised the 2 D-ring holes. We've opened the holes up to accommodate 16mm stainless all thread, and we've also put in a third 16mm all thread through bolt as well. And then what I'm going to do is have my laser cutters make one of these out of some 10mm 316. So we'll cut that, and this part here is for a boat hook launch and retrieve system that I build into my trailers. So that'll be all part of it. Obviously we've got a spot for a winch and then a safety chain eye as well. So we'll get those parts this week, as well as the main stainless plate there. We'll probably epoxy fill all these holes. I'm not going to reuse those holes. And then, yeah, this plate will be fully fabricated with these parts already welded into them, and it'll just drop in, and we'll put some new bolts straight through the hole. It's actually quite thick here, so I was pretty happy about that. I don't have to reinforce anything inside. Moving back, we've taken the windscreens out. From last time, we have completely gutted the forward cab. And I've started cutting up the floor as well, just to start working out what I need and sort of order materials and everything else. I had a new electric toilet sitting in stock, and it actually fits perfect. So that's good. We can build the new day head around that. But yeah, all the cabinets are gone, the galley's gone. Still yet to find a build date on this hull. The only thing I did find was in this floor section underneath, it had BM25 port written on it. But other than that, still no build date or anything. So there's still a bit of work to do in here, and still a lot to do back here as well. All this floor is coming up now. I was originally thinking about keeping some of it, but we've decided that it's all going to come up, and we're going to do a whole new floor system for it. Stringers and everything are actually in pretty good nick by the looks of it. Yeah, the floor was in really good nick too. We just decided we were only going to have that little bit left, and we may as well just rip it all up and do it again. Yeah, I've 3D scanned this forward section, and I've got some renderings. Just give you a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. This was the 3D scan section, and new fabricated curved windscreen we're going to put in it. Yeah, aluminium bar work. Am I going to run clears? I want the open express look rather than a fully enclosed hardtop. So it'll have clears all the way around that'll sit back up in underneath the hardtop. The hardtop, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it out of fiberglass or aluminium yet. It's a pretty basic shape, so we could do a basic mould and lay that up. Just mindful of weight and everything else, so we'll see what the numbers come in at and whether we do that or not. You can see a bit of a look at what we're doing with our cabinets and stuff like that. Obviously the new console. Yeah, we're putting an isotherm 80 litre freezer drawer in there. It'll have a sink, storage. This side I'm toying with the idea of putting an electric barbecue in there, or I may do it as a tackle rigging station. And on the port side, that'll be a bench seat, and obviously we've got a 2 helm seats side by side because the V-berth door is offset. We have got room to run two helm chairs up in there. That's just a bit of a look at it from the back. And yeah, so there's a bit of work done there on the computer, but I'd rather do it on there than have to make it 3 or 4 times out here to get it right. And we can get everything CNC cut then. Save us a bit of time. Won't save us any money, but it'll save us some time. And yeah, I'm hoping to get up to the Gold Coast in the next couple of weeks to pick up the live bait tank that Salt Marine are making for me in the tuna tubes. Obviously that bit of ply work there that the previous owner had done, that's all going to come out, and we're just going to check what they did behind that to make sure when they filled the leg holes that was done correctly. It sort of looks good from the outside, but you just don't know until you pull that skin off. It may have to be cut out again. All the timber in this boat was actually really dry. I haven't found any rotten timber, wet timber at all in it, which is good. So I'm hoping that is going to be the same. Just need to get that bit of ply out, and then we'll make some thermo parts for that and fill it all in. And I'm also going to do enclosed battery lockers with hatches, port starboard side, so I can run my cranking batteries, filters, maybe a little bit of plumbing up there for the deck wash and the manifold. The live bait tank, I'm actually going to pressurize it, so it'll be a pressurized system, so no air in the live bait tank at all. And I'm going to do a sea chest, so that'll have 2 2-inch through-hole pickups into a sea chest, and then we're going to run 3 1100 GPH cartridge pumps into a manifold, so I can run the live bait tank, 2 tuna tubes, port starboard side, so 4 tuna tubes, and I can regulate everything with a manifold. A little bit of stuffing around, but I've always wanted one in a boat. It's pretty standard in America these days to do pressurised live bait tanks. Your bait doesn't slosh around and all that sort of thing. We've got to build a mould for the lid to do the lid section, but that's not too bad. I can CNC cut that mould and then just lay it up. Yeah, and fuel tanks. I have calculated the fuel tanks. Originally I was going to put one big one in it, but I'm actually going to put two. They'll go back into the same spot, but because we're raising the floor at the helm, I can then raise the height of the fuel tanks, and what I drew up was 440 litres per tank. I don't need 880 litres, so I may reduce them down to 350 or 400. I was sort of aiming for that 750 to 800, but if I reduce them down, it'll lower my centre of gravity a little bit and give me a little bit of extra room. I'm thinking about doing a compartment possibly in here to do my lithium battery packs. Not 100% sure what I'm doing with the lithium yet, but I'm going to run an inverter for 240 volt power for the galley, so I will need maybe a minimum of 400 amp hours, and I think the gyro's a go now, so all that's coming out and we're putting a gyro in. So I'll probably put 400 amp hours of lithium for the gyro as well. We'll wait and see. I'm still waiting on numbers back from them to see how much power I need. The other one I want to do is something I've always wanted to do in a boat, but never sort of had the customer or anything that wanted to commit to it. But I'm going to do a kill tank in the floor here, which will be insulated. So a lot of this framework's coming out. We'll build a new stringer system for it, so we're not going to lose any strength. If anything, we're going to add some. Kill tank in the floor, insulated, and I'm also going to refrigerate it with an evaporator plate in there. My idea is that we can either use it as a kill tank, refrigerated kill tank, to run a slurry in it. My other one is for pre-rigged skip baits, ready to go, refrigerated, so they'll last all day when you're chasing marlin and everything else. So yeah, that's one thing I want to do. And obviously, yeah, we're raising the floor here, but other than that, we're sort of progressing pretty well. I'm keeping tabs on the weight. It was as the hull sat, but with no engines, pretty much how I brought it. There was not much in it really. It was 1,440 kilos. I've since pulled out nearly 400 kilos of timber out of the front. So I just set up a calculator in Excel and I just keep adding and subtracting to that, so I know exactly where the weight's coming out and what we're putting back in. Once we get all this done, tanks in, the aft section of the cockpit done, I'll then do the final calcs for the pod. Like I said, we're doing a similar to an Armstrong bracket on this. Not doing a hull extension, but because we know where the CG was before we started, and we're keeping tabs on all the weight we're taking out and what we're putting back in, as well as the new glass windscreen, pipework, hardtop, batteries, bigger fuel tank, 130 kilos for a gyro. It's pretty important to keep tabs on where all that's going. So the final calculations for the pod fingers crossed, bang on, and we don't affect the ride of these things, because that's why we restore them in the first place. But yeah, we'll, like I said, working from the bow forward now. I'm going to do all the windscreen, I'm going to do all my pipe work, all the cabinets before I go painting anything. Just heaps easier to work on. Yeah, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks when I do another video update, we'll sort of have that front bow section sorted. I am going to have to redo the bulkhead in the anchor well, because I'm not sure I'm going to get the winch that I want to put in it. I'm not sure it's going to fit for a starters, and there's nowhere to bolt it in anyway. So I figured I'll just pull that bulkhead out and build a fiberglass inner frame to bolt the winch to, and then put a new thermo bulkhead in so it is fully sealed. At the moment, these bulkheads are only sealed at the bottom half. They're not actually sealed up in the top corners, and because we're going through stem bow roller, that will cop a lot of water in there, and I don't want it flooding back into the V-berth. But other than that, we'll keep you updated, and yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be able to show you a bit more.